I know that everything is geared towards moving into television, but first you've started with live events.
The 3D business is, at least this year, really a business. Last year or the year before was almost a business.
Right.
So really we were very dependent on earning revenue. We didn't have the kind of funding where we could just do R&D for 5 years waiting for the business to catch up to us. So we've really been on parallel paths. One is we would shoot whatever we could, because everything we shot, we learned more, we got better, and it helped create more good content, because that's what this industry needs to get moving, is more good content.
Right.
So we would shoot everything that came along, whether it be a feature film, or a television show, or a concert, or a live sporting event. But really it's divided in two areas: that which was broadcast live, and that which is recorded for later post-production. But our focus has really been down both those paths simultaneously, because they were both available to us, and for the business to succeed, it needed both.
Right,
You know, television has to work, movies have to work. Mm-hmm. Live broadcast absolutely has to work, because that's what's going to fill the channel.
Okay.
So we started in 2000. I started by hiring a few engineers because we had to change the technology. There were a few things that were clear. Film style 3D shooting was too inaccurate and too expensive and too heavy, and the rigs were so big that every studio executive, they'd walk in and they'd see this giant contraption the size of a Volkswagen, and that'd be the end of it. So the technology had to change. That was clear. Two is, if you say, okay, if you believe that 3D television was a reality in the future, and on the feature side it might take 2 to 3 years to fill a 2-hour time slot, well, that's not enough for television. And if you aggregated all the 3D that existed to date, you could fill 2 days of a channel, and that's about it. So if there was going to be television, there had to be a way to shoot in real time, capture live events. And that really became our focus, because even though there was revenue, which we needed to survive, in the movie side, the better we got it live, the better it would be for the movies. So we started really focusing on what does it take to make comfortable, perfect 3D images in a real-time setting, meaning they don't need post-production to be viewable. And 3D always needed post-production. And what can we do in terms of the technology so that it feels like tools that normal film and television crews are used to using? Because you can't hand them something totally radically different and say, well, now you're going to use this, because it's not ergonomically designed for the way they're used to working. So the tools had to be designed for the way they're used to working. They had to be able to shoot digital. They had to be able to shoot accurately, because we had to put out images in real time. There had to be a technology that lets you shoot more than 5 shots a day, because movies shoot 20 to 30 setups a day, television 30 to 50 setups a day. You couldn't be out there between every shot with wrenches and rocks realigning the rig to try and get close to something that would still need to be fixed in post. There had to be an automated, intelligent system behind it, so that if you're on a TV show and you normally shoot 40 shots a day, 40 setups a day, you're going to get 40 setups a day. We have to, if the schedules changed, it wouldn't work. And all of this had to work within the existing HD infrastructure with television, because you have to remember that the broadcasters had a mandate that they had to upgrade to HD. They couldn't charge any more for advertising in HD. They couldn't sell it for a premium. So the HD upgrade to the broadcasters was a huge capital expense with no additional revenue coming in. They didn't get a penny extra. The people who made the money on that upgrade were the manufacturers, the Sonys, the Panasonics, the Grass Valleys of the world. Power to them, it's not a detriment, but the broadcasters just choked on that. So if suddenly we come in with 3D technology and say, that's great, glad you did your upgrade, but now you got to throw all that out and you're going to reinvest into new tools, because that wouldn't work. Right. 3D would be a quick death, because the broadcasters were not about to spend another penny. In fact, whatever new pieces they needed, there had to be a solid revenue plan behind it. It couldn't just be, oh yeah, you're going to do another upgrade, but you won't get any more money for that either. That won't work.
Right.
So everything we laid out to the crew here to design was, and it has to work within the existing HD infrastructure. It has to work within the existing HD infrastructure.